The story is told through four people, Maskiel, Betsalel, Lev, and David. When they entered the seventh chamber, the world around them changed. The walls vanished, the boundaries disappeared, and even the sense of direction was gone. All they could see was a soft golden mist, which wrapped around them like a warm blanket. "What is this place?" Lev asked, trying to focus his eyes. "This is the chamber that the Zohar calls the dregs of wine, which intoxicate." Maskiel replied, "Here, the distinction between good and evil disappears. Here the mind is clouded, and the boundaries fade away." Betsalel looked around. "I see a world that seems light, joyful. There is no fear here, no pain, no suffering. Everything seems pleasant." "But it's a trap," David said grimly. They walked forward, but it was unclear whether they were actually moving. Everything around them seemed to float, as if they were in an endless wine cellar. The air was filled with something sweet, yet cloying, robbing them of clarity. "What is this fog?" Lev tried to wave it away with his hand, but it just gently dispersed and immediately closed in again. "This is intoxication," said Maskiel. "In this hall, a person's mind loses the ability to distinguish. Everything seems right. Here, the struggle between good and evil disappears." Betsalel slowed his pace. "If there is no struggle here, then there is no way out." "There's not even a desire to leave here," said David. His voice sounded tense. In the distance, they saw a figure. People wandering in the mist with gentle smiles on their faces. They didn't look unhappy. They didn't look tormented. "They don't even realize they're trapped," muttered Lev. One of the passers-by turned to them. "Why do you look so tense?" He asked in a gentle voice. "Everything is fine here. There are no problems, no suffering. Here, you can just exist." He made a gesture with his hand, and before them appeared a long table covered with golden goblets, filled with something shimmering. "Drink, and all your questions will disappear," he said with a smile. Lev stepped forward, but Maskiel suddenly grabbed him by the shoulder. "Don't think about it," he whispered. "But it's just wine." "No," David said. "This is the very wine that Shava drank when she gave it to Adam, the wine without a screen. It deprives a person of the ability to see the truth." Betsalel closed his eyes. "I understand. There is no fear here, no pressure. But this isn't joy, it's just the disappearance of oneself." "That's where the danger lies," said Maskiel. "In the previous chambers there was pain, there was heaviness, there was despair. But at least there was a struggle there, and here you don't even want to fight." Lev took a deep breath. "So how do we get out?" "We have to restore the distinction," said David. "But how? Everything feels blurry." "We need to sense the boundary," said Betsalel. "If everything seems the same right now, then we need to remember that it's not, to feel. That some things matter, some things are true, and some are false," added Maskiel. David clenched his fists. "We have to remember what we wanted before we ended up here." "We were looking for a way out," said Leviticus. "We were searching for the truth," said Betsalel, and suddenly the fog began to thin. "The more we remember who we are, the less power this place has," said Maskiel. The passerby who had offered them the cup stepped back, his smile vanished. "You don't understand," he said quietly. "Everything is fine here." "But not for us," replied David. They took a step forward, and the fog finally cleared away. Before them once again stood the closed gates of the hall. Lev exhaled deeply. This was the most deceptive place of all. "Yes, because it doesn't make you suffer, it makes you not notice that you're trapped," said Maskiel. Betsalel waved his hand through the air. "But now we know that if everything seems the same, it means we've stopped distinguishing. If everything seems blurry, it means we've lost our sense of direction. And if we understand that, we can find our way back." They looked at each other and moved on. How do you apply this in life? Don't make important decisions when you're in an emotional state. If you want to judge yourself, give yourself one more day to think it over. Be honest with yourself. Don't believe false witnesses. Judgment isn't punishment, it's a path to the truth. But truth takes time.